Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. It's good to see everybody back. I've been out sick for a couple of days, but I'm feeling a lot better now. Hope all you guys are doing well. As you've been seeing the past couple of days, projects are going well, so I'll update you on them shortly. Hey guys, what's up? How are you guys doing? Awesome. What's up, guys? Thanks for all the love. Thanks, guys. What's up, official? Logan, the PS5 giveaway is next week. Next Wednesday at this live event, I'm going to announce who won. What's up, brother? How you doing, Alex? All right. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for all the love on YouTube. Thanks for all the love on IG. Good to see everybody. I haven't played games in a long time, but this looks really sick. They did a really good job designing it. Like I just want to put it up there and just have it just in case I need a DVD player. But they did a really good job with it. What's up, Anderson? How do I enter to win the giveaway? So how you enter to win the giveaway is you follow on YouTube, you subscribe onto YouTube, you subscribe onto IG, you go on the post, you like the post, you save the post, and then you tag a friend. And then basically your friend does the same thing. And every entry that's in there is another chance to win. So the more friends you tag, the more friends that they subscribe to my page, the more entries to win. Nice Xmas tree and nice Christmas tree. Thank you. Thank you. It looks good. It's a good looking tree. How do I feel? I feel a lot better. I wasn't feeling so good a couple of days ago. I just felt weak. I don't think I have COVID. I still have all my tastes and stuff. It's just like a regular cold. My daughter was like coughing and stuff, and then she gave it to me. So feeling a lot better, feeling really good. I went to the project today. Drywall is almost done. Painting is going to happen Saturday and Sunday. That'll be done, ready for flooring and everything else. Cabinets. We're going to keep this thing moving. So it's really exciting. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, things are really, really moving now. Started remodeling a third unit in the same complex. Ripped everything down, ripped down the walls. It's fully open now. We're going to put up new walls. And we're going to change the layout. The front room was actually the living room, then it's a bedroom, then it was a kitchen. That wasn't the best layout, so I moved the front door to the middle of the house. Then I made it so you're walking into the living room, then you're going to the left, you go into the bedroom, and to the right is a kitchen. And we're opening up the wall from the kitchen to the living room and giving it an open concept. So that's going to look a lot better. The bathroom also was small, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Just make it flow a lot better. All right, on YouTube, Austin says, been following you on IG since 10K. Great knowledge, always. Thank you, Austin. Teen Ambition says, hey, Pascal, how you doing? I'm doing great, thank God. OMG says, how to enter the giveaway. You follow on YouTube, you follow on IG, you like the post, you save the post, tag friends. The more you tag, the more that follow, subscribe on YouTube and IG, the more entries. Anderson says, I really deserve the PS5. Well, God willing, the most deserving person is going to get it. But either way, remember, we're all blessed if we do or don't get it. So let's not be the only thing that determines our happiness. But again, it would be cool to get it. So I get it. I didn't just buy it. I actually had to buy it off somebody else. It cost me $950 to get this PS5 to give away. So I didn't buy it for $500, whatever. I actually paid $950 for it. So it's not it's in high demand. It's a high demand item. And you can't even go to the store and buy it now. Like if you go to Target and try to buy it, they're like, no, you have to buy it online. and then once you buy it online, you'll get a reserve. And they don't even know when it's available. So you literally have to just be on the Target website if you're trying to buy it on Target, and just like check, refresh until you happen to find one, and then you try to buy it real quick. But I heard some people have some bots set up, so the bots are actually checking and like constantly checking, so they can buy it immediately the second it's available, which I don't think that's really fair, but that's me. How will I be picking the winner? So it's basically the volume of people they tag. Now, if they tag the same person again and again, no, that doesn't count. But if they tag multiple people to follow the page and they end up following the page, then those tags count. So, all right, let's get into some of the questions. All right, so yeah, the properties are going well. The historic house is moving. The Dunedin cottages are moving. We are remodeling 3 out of the 7. We're looking right now for the house next to the baseball stadium. I'm actually looking to rent that out for about $24,000 for 4 months during baseball season, and during our peak season. So that's going to be good. Everything's going really good. As you saw today on my live video, in today's topic will be about the benefits of long-term investing in real estate. So in today's in today's story on IG, I showed you guys my Excel spreadsheet. And I was showing you how that this year's revenue on every single one of my properties is up at minimum 10% over prior year. One of the properties is up 20% over prior year. And this is some of the benefits you get from having long-term real estate holdings, that you can have a significant return on investment. Rents keep going up every year. Okay, every year rents keep going up. Now, if you pick a good area, they go up higher than other areas. And what I was saying in the video was, when your rents go up, your expenses usually don't. Yes, taxes go up, insurance goes up, things like that. But normally, your rent goes up and expenses don't go up that much. Now, you'll also see that in addition to that, I'll try to find which properties can have a significant bump in rent, and I will go and, after determining which property to invest additional money in, I'll go in, I'll invest additional money, I'll upgrade the property and bump up the rents. So right now in the Dunedin cottages, there's 7 cottages. I was bringing in roughly like between $1,000 to $1,100 per unit. So bringing in about $7,000 a month. I'm going to be putting in probably around $300,000 to $400,000 into this property, and the rent should be around $1,500 to $1,800 a unit. So I'm going to be increasing the rents about $4,500 a month. That is like $54,000 a year. So the return on investment is going to be pretty good. Yes, it's going to cost me probably close to $300,000 to do it. But the return on investment is great, right? It's really, really good return. It's about 17% return on investment. Now, at the same time, because I increased the rent so much, I increased the rent, we'll say $4,500 a month. For every $100 I increase the rent, increases the property value roughly about $20,000. So I'm going to be having a huge increase in the property value. After I finish the full renovation and get it fully rented out, I'm going to be doing a cash out refinance. So I'm going to be refinancing the property that I bought for $335,000. My rental budget is probably going to be close to like, say, $300,000. I'm going to be in for about $650,000, we'll say. And when I remodel, the value should be $1.4 million. If I get a loan, 75% loan to value, I'm going to be getting a loan for about $1,100,000. So I'll be walking with about $500,000 in equity. So I'm going to get back all my money plus $500,000 extra. So that's a great position to be in, right? Now I'm going to take that money and put it into the next property. As I said, when you do the cash out refinance, the cash out you get is not taxable. You don't have to pay tax on that money. Now, in a few years, if you decide to sell the property and you have a $1.1 million loan and you sell the property for $1.4 million, you're going to walk away with about $300,000 cash. Now, in that scenario, obviously there's going to be some fees, but we'll ignore the fees for now just to make the calculation simple. Even though you're only walking with $300,000 cash, because you did a cash out refinance in the past, that equity, the equity you extracted, you're going to have to pay the income tax on that. What would you do to help avoid that tax? Is do a 1031 exchange into another property. So we'll defer the taxes again. So there's always ways to go around and figure out different ways to avoid taxes so you have more money to reinvest and improve the community. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, guys. Do you do 203K loans? Yes, we do FHA loans, we do 203K loans, we do conventional loans. We have many different financing options available. So if you guys don't know what an FHA 203K loan is, it is a loan for an owner occupant that wants to buy a property that needs renovations. So you're buying the property and the bank is financing you to purchase it, plus they're helping cover the cost of repairs or renovations. And that's called an FHA 203K loan. Now, there is certain things you need to know about an FHA 203K loan. One, you have to have approved general contractor to be able to work on the property. Two, some states, some areas have limitations of, I think, $60,000 on the renovation amount. So that is going to limit on how much or how big of a renovation you can do. As you guys know, the cost of materials and the cost of labor, everything has gone up. So it is $60,000 doesn't go as far as it used to. So be prepared to do your homework to know if the property can qualify for an FHA 203K loan. But yes, if you guys need help, I'll be happy to help get you guys a financing. We're able to help people across the country. We have about 10 states that we offer financing in currently. Now we do offer home insurance and auto insurance for people in Florida, and we also do taxes for companies, 1120S LLCs, 1065 partnerships, and 1040s all across the country. So if you need help with your taxes, business creation, we can help you with that. Will the market crash next year? I feel that there's going to be a correction next year. After May of 2021, unless they come out with another crazy stimulus package, I think it's going down. There's a lot of businesses closed around the country. We had a second wave of closures. So there's that second wave of, COVID that came out, which a lot of cities shut down businesses again, and they're not going to be able to survive. They're just not. I mean, the amount of money the government gave us from the last stimulus plan, meaning business owners, was enough if you took the loan, not the PPP, but I'm talking about the EIDL loan. If you took the loan, that gave businesses 7 to 11 months of coverage to survive. Well, now they took the loan. The money's basically coming to be about tapped out, and they're not going to be able to do it again unless they come out with another stimulus plan with another loan package. If they don't do it, many, many, many businesses are going to go down. Many. So, it's a very rough time we're going to be going through next year. And I think if they don't pump the market up, because they really just pump the market up, it's not going to stay up. A lot of people now, because they can't go to casinos and gamble and stuff like that, they're using the stock market to gamble. So a lot of it is just people playing around, pumping things up. And if you also look at what's getting pumped up, there's a certain group of stocks that are getting pumped up, but not the whole market isn't truly being pumped up. The Dow Jones isn't an actual average of the true stock market. It's only 30 stocks, So just be cautious. Just be very cautious. And whatever you're buying, be sure that you're planning to have it for the long term, because if you're not, then, if you're planning, okay, there's a rule. And the rule is you don't use short-term money or short-term financing for long-term investments. All right. So if you're planning to use this cash for, say, buying a house or buying a rental property, be very careful of having this cash in the stock market, because if the stock market falls, you're going to lose a lot of money. And then when you finally have properties that are on sale, you finally find a property that's a good deal, you just lost 30% of your cash or 30% of the money on the market, and that money was going to be used for your down payment. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So be careful. Don't be using this long-term money and put it in a short-term investment when you're planning to take the money out pretty quickly. Today I have no money, but I want to succeed in life before I die. Give me suggestions on how I start today. Really, I don't have an idea how I can do it. I need your suggestions. So first thing what you should do is find out who you want to be like and mimic them. And if you can go work for this person for free, if you're just out of school and you're still living at home and you don't really need money. Now, a lot of people think they need money, but not a lot of people actually do, because you're living at home and you just spent all this time at school, which you made no money. You can afford to go another year and not make any money. Work for someone as an apprenticeship or get paid very, very little money and just do whatever you can for them. You're going to learn a lot. And if you hustle hard, put in a lot of time, a lot of energy, they're going to teach you, because they're like, all right, this person's working really hard. I'm going to give them a little bit of attention and teach them what I need. After that year, if you've been paying attention and working hard, you'll be able to be very knowledgeable. So then the next year, they're probably going to hire you on, and you should be able to be paid well. And if they don't hire you on, you'll have enough skills to maybe open up your own company or go work for someone else with all this knowledge. Because most of the time when we're looking to hire people, we're looking for people that have experience. And if you don't have any experience, we don't have time to teach you. I hired 22 people one year, okay? Out of the 22, one person stayed. The other 21 thought they wanted to be in sales. And then they found out what it takes to be in sales, and they were like, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, if you don't do the job, you're not going to be successful. They didn't realize that in sales, you got to make a lot of phone calls. So they didn't realize that they had to make a lot of phone calls for sales. They just thought people are going to call in and they're going to buy it. Oh, shut up and take my money. Like, it doesn't work like that. That only works on Family Guy, okay? So I hired 22 people, 21 of them quit because they didn't feel like being on the phone and doing sales. As a business owner, we don't like paying people and figuring out that they don't like it and they just leave. That's a lot of money wasted that we're putting into people, or investing in people, hoping they develop and grow. Well, if we have someone that's willing to work, and I have a couple of guys right now that are doing this, they come, they work for me for free. I don't pay them. I'm teaching them skills. I'm showing them what I'm doing. They ask me questions. I answer those questions, and they're developing skills. Now, some of them end up showing me that they're actually good. So I start paying them for certain things because they showed me that they deserve to be paid for the work they're putting in. And as they get better, after they hear what I'm saying and apply what I'm telling them, teaching them, then they're going to end up getting paid more. Now, if they don't, they won't. Remember this. If you ever want to get paid money, if you ever want to get paid a certain amount of money, you have to generate the company 3 times what you want to get paid. So let me break it down. If you want to make $100,000, If your goal is to make $100,000 a year working for somebody, you must generate the company $300,000. That's like the minimum, because $100,000 goes to you. Then there's additional taxes and fees and so on to your salary that you don't even see, which is usually at least another $20,000. Then there's probably, marketing. This probably costs almost $100,000 in marketing to be able to have you sell the $300,000. And then on top of that, there's overhead to the business. So by the time it's done, the company's maybe going to make 50,000 of the 300, and you get 100 of it, and the rest goes to expenses associated to be able to help you produce those sales. So if you want to make that type of money, you have to generate 3 times whatever you want to get paid as a business owner. All right, there's a lot of questions on YouTube, so let me get at them. What are some of the ways to partner with a private money lender? I mean, I can hook you up with a private money lender. That's a hard money lender. But then again, you still need the money for the down payment. So that's when you're going to get a private investor to front the down payment money if you find good deals. The key is finding a good deal. Most of the time people ask me about funding, and then when I talk to them about their deals, I'm like, their deals aren't that good. All right. Logan says, thank you for all the advice. Hope all is well with your family. Thank you, Logan. Hugo said, Pascal, you said that if you'd increase the rent by $100, the property value would increase 20K. So is the property in the 6 cap market? The property I'm in is in a 5 cap market. So it's super high demand. Even 4plexes go for like 5 caps. It's like crazy high demand. And my property is in the green zone. So that means in this city, very few properties are allowed to be Airbnb'd. I have one of the properties that are allowed to be Airbnb'd. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 12. So I have a good chunk of the properties that are allowed to be Airbnb'd, and probably about 5% of the market. So, yeah, it's nice. Please explain cap in percentage. So cap rate is capitalization rate. Basically, if you paid all cash for the property, how much money would you make? So if you're going to buy a Starbucks, right? Starbucks building, normally they're 4 caps, 5 caps. So you say, let's make believe you paid $1 million for the building, you would make $40,000 a year, and you have to pay $1 million cash. If you paid in a 5 cap property, you pay $1 million, you make $50,000 a year from that property. So it's not a large amount of money because it's a super secure type of investment, because you're getting a triple A tenant paying you rent. Now, when you go to other types of rentals, right, you get the more risky, or what's assumed to be risky, gets larger cap rates. So if the more risky the area is, or the more risky the tenant type is, the higher the cap rate is paid. And because it's a higher cap rate, the reason that you're getting paid a higher cap rate is because of the risk you're taking. Should you look for cap rate or ROI? I look for both. And it really depends, because it really depends, because some people don't need ROI. Some people need cap rate. It depends on how you're buying. It depends on the amount of your loan to value. It depends a lot of factors. But at the end of the day, me personally, I look more at return on investment than cap rate. That's what I look at. And I don't always worry about initial cap rate. I look at what can I make what's my return on investment, post renovation. And then I look at the second number is, what is my return on investment after my refi? Those are the 2 things I really look at: return on investment and return on investment after refi. Cap rate, some people are like, oh, I want a 10 cap. If it's not a 10 cap, I won't even look at it. I'm like, I don't care. I bought a property last year, the Safety Harbor Cottages. I bought it at a 0 cap. Technically, it was a negative cap. And then I turned it around, and at a current cap of 5, it's probably worth 4.2 million. I bought it for about 975. I put in roughly about 900 into it. So I'm in for like 1.9, 1.8, and it's worth 4.2. What should I invest my next stimulus check in? Well, it depends. If you own a ton of debt and you have credit cards that are 15% interest, 20% interest, your investment should be paying down your debt, because 15, 20% pay down your debt. Like pay down your debt. But if you don't have any debt, then you can put it into, a number of different things. It depends what your goals are. I mean, you could put it into the stock market or crypto or silver and gold. It just depends what your investing style is, and it depends what your time horizon is, and it depends your risk tolerance. So it depends. Me, I have some money in silver and gold. I have some money in crypto. I have some money in stocks. But a lion's share of my money is actually in cash. I'm holding a lot of cash because I'm concerned of what's going to happen. And back in 07, 08, I had about 40 something $1,000 in stocks. And I was like, oh, when I find another multi-unit, I'm going to put that money in the multi-unit. Well, the stock market tanked and I lost like almost 50% of my money. And then obviously when I pulled my money out to buy the good deals I found, I had half the money to invest. So you have to be careful. Teen Ambition said, how much do you make a month throughout all your businesses? So that's tough, right? So I make I sold a lot of properties now, so I don't make as much as I did before. So from rentals, just straight annual rentals, I'll probably make right now about 17 a month. During Airbnb season, I'll Airbnb some of the units. So I'll make another, say, $10,000 a month extra. Our season's only for about 3 months, so it's not all the time. Then my other businesses right now, I'm choosing not to make any money. I'm just reinvesting everything into more marketing, more staff, more improving everything. So if I didn't choose to do that, I'd probably make another 10, 20K from that. But right now, at a certain point, the amount of money you're making, like if someone's like, oh, I made 50K. Okay, well, what are you going to do with that 50K? You're going to pay taxes on that 50K. You have to put it somewhere. So either I put it into buying another rental property, I put it into investing in marketing, investing in more staff, improving our technologies, somehow making it better and better, But yeah. Hugo says, the larger the cap rate, the less money you make? No. The larger the cap rate, the more money you make. But the larger the cap rate usually means the higher the risk you're taking. So lower cap, less risk, less money. Higher cap, higher risk, higher money. This is theoretical, right? That's the theory of it. Could you hypothetically find a 6 cap property that normally sells for a 4 cap? Remember, the lower the number, the higher the sales price. So, which would be a great deal. Yeah, if you found a property that should be a 4 cap, but they're selling it at a 6 cap, that's awesome for you. If you bought a property for $1 million at a 6 cap, that should be a 4 cap, you can resell it for 1.5 million, which that's the 4 cap rate, 1.5 million. It's an inverse. It's inverse. So yeah, it'd be awesome. And that's really another way where you make your money is I find the properties that are undervalued and I improve them and then sell them for more money. So, like my unit, my fourplex in Dunedin, I bought it from 180 and right now it's worth 550. To be honest with you, I didn't do much. I painted the outside. I changed the windows on one of the 2 buildings and that's it. And then I just constantly bumped up the rents because the area kept on demanding it. I bought in an area that was improving. So, I put $40,000 down and now it's worth 550. It's awesome. And once I improve it, I'm also going to take that property from about $1,000 a month in rent to about $1,500 a month in rent for the 1 bedrooms and almost $2,000 a month for the 2 bedroom. It's just great. All right, guys, let's see. What questions do you have? Oh, Mary. What's up, Mary? Mary's been following me for a while. Mary says, Pascal, if you have a house for about 2 months and resell, do you have to pay capital gains on the money made? Yes, you do have to pay capital gains on the money you made on the property. If you want to avoid capital gains, you have to own the property for 2 years. So the rule is 2 of 5. If you sell a primary residence and you've lived in that house for the last 2 years of the last 5 years, so let's say you bought the house in 2015, you lived in it in 2015 and 16, and you sold it in 2020. Because you've lived in it for 2 years of the last 5 years, you don't have to pay income tax on it, up to $250,000 for a single person and $500,000 for a married couple. But if you only owned it 2 months, then yes, you have to pay capital gains. Now, what you could do is do a 1031 exchange if you weren't planning on flipping it. Like if your intent was planning on flipping it, you cannot do a 1031 exchange. But if you were not planning on flipping it and you just happened to sell it after 2 months because it just happened, some crazy scenario, then you could 1031 exchange it. Another option is you don't have a 1031 exchange it. You could just buy another property and then write off you could depreciate that property to write off the gains on this one. All right, Josh wants to go live. Let's see what question he has for us.
Whoa.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Josh?
I've been following you I didn't expect you to accept this. I've been following you for like a year. I went to school at USF, and I saw that you're in Tampa. And so I'm getting into real estate, or I've been trying to. The first question I asked you was last year about a 203K. Since then, I didn't pull the trigger. I started a company out here in Orlando with a few friends. And now that I have some cash, I am working with a hard money lender, and I just started another company for real estate. But my question for you is, now that we know the market's going to end up crashing, or it should crash next year, how far should I go with this leverage since I'm using hard money? I don't want to pull out money on a hard money loan and then the market crash in the middle of that flip and then kind of be screwed.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you've been following me that long, you know that I put out a video of August of last year saying that it's going to crash. Back in August of last year, I put out, hey, I predict market's going to tank end of 2020, beginning of 2021. And has nothing to do with COVID. COVID popped the bubble, but that's not really the reason why it's crashing. We had an issue with debt for middle and small size companies. All right. This looks like his service wasn't that good. So we had the issues were debt with middle and mid-size and small companies, and average American couldn't cover a $400 emergency. They were just getting more and more in debt. So what happens is we have a 7 to 10 year debt cycle in this country. So when we maximize our debt, we basically have too much debt. Bankruptcy starts happening. All those debts gets washed away, and our economy becomes healthier again. And then we go through this trough, and then we rise up. So because of that, that's why I predicted the market was going to fall. Now it's going to fall. Should you over leverage? No, it's never good to over leverage. But remember, you're young. I'm young. You have to plan long term. So if you buy something that's a good deal and you get 20, 30% off of it now, and it drops another 10%, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. It's what's important is you're buying in a very good area. It's going to be good long-term. But if you buy in a low-income area, you buy in a very rural area that doesn't have much going on, not a lot of jobs, not a lot of money, then you're going to have a problem, because not only are you going to have this property, you're also not going to have any money coming in to pay for the property. And that's an issue, right? When you don't have enough income to cover your expenses. So, be careful. Seminole Heights is good. Just make sure you're getting a good deal, because if the property needs a lot of work, if the property, just estimate whatever you're estimating for renovations, add at least another 25% on top of that, because there's always something behind the wall that you don't expect. All right. So Hugo says, how do you find properties in high demand areas such as the one you were talking about? I'm literally looking all the time, and I'm constantly checking my emails to see if any deals come in. And the second it comes in, like, I buy it right away. Within an hour, I try to sign the contract. So you have to just be on it, and you have to know your market so well that when a deal comes through, you just say, I'm taking it, and you sign. You don't, well, let me think about it and whatever. No, I'm taking it. I'm going to be there in 1 hour. We're going to walk it, and I'm going to sign. That's how confident you need to be. And if you're not that confident, then you don't know your market well enough, and you need to study your market better. So you just really got to have that strong feeling like, oh man, I've never seen a deal this good. I need to go see it now. I want to buy it now. How do you build that type of confidence? You really just have to study your market. Like, without you studying your market, without you looking at deals again and again, I look at multi-units all the time, right? So I'm looking at multi-units in this area, and I saw, okay, this fourplex is selling for $400,000, and it's selling at, $150 a square foot. $400,000, $150 a square foot. $400,000, $150 a square foot. Well, if I find one for $300,000 and it's $100 a square foot, I'm like, whoa, this is a good deal. Why? Let me look through the pictures. Let me drive by. Let me whatever. Okay, well, I see why. It's been the same tenants, and their rent's $500 instead of $1,000. And the owner doesn't want to just go through the headache of changing it. And I might need new AC units and whatever. Well, okay, you know what? I'll deal with that headache. Give it to me. I will increase the rent. I will fix the place up, and I'll generate the extra $100,000 in value. The reason why is, even if, in this scenario, that's only 25% increase. That's only $100,000 increase. Let's say you had to upgrade all 4 AC units. That's going to cost you, like $14,000. The roof is going to cost you maybe another $14,000. That's $28,000. Painting, it's going to cost you another $6,000. So you're like putting in, let's just say you put in $50,000 to upgrade the place. So at least you made $50,000 of equity, which is good. But what I really like is, if you bought another spot that was kind of redone for $400,000, the roof's probably not brand new. The AC units are probably not brand new. All these certain things aren't new. And because they're not new, they're going to end up giving you a headache later. So I'd rather buy it and change everything and know it's done. I don't have any headaches, or have very small headaches. Oh, the toilet's leaking. Oh, this underneath the sink is leaking. Okay, no problem. I can go in and take care of that quick. Or I can have one of my guys go in and take care of it quick. Or when we're doing this every 6 months, we do inspections. When we go through and do inspections, we can catch these issues. So, it's better that what needs to be done and get it done yourself, so you're not surprised by any issues later. Official Ronald says, add me, please. Official Ronalds, what do you want to talk about? What do you think of the Fed's meeting today? Are you concerned about inflation in 2021 from dovish policies? Dovish policies. Actually, yes, I love inflation. I make lots of money from inflation. My business plan is based off of inflation. Think about it. When I get loans, say I get $1 million loan today, and inflation goes up 3%, right? That means the value or the debt that I owe of $1 million the next year weakened by $30,000. I only owe 970. Say 10 years from now, the $1 million loan, make believe we're in a interest only loan, so I still owe 10 years from now $1 million. The purchasing power of that $1 million is only $700,000. But what happened to the property? The property went up at least by 3%. So what does that mean? Inflation makes us richer as a real estate investor. Rents always go up. So it's beneficial for us. I like it. And I think we're going to go through a hyperinflationary period. We just, 10x the amount of debt we have? That means all of our assets are going to go up supposedly in an equal proportion, but I don't think it's going to be able to do that. So, but the point is, real estate went up significantly in the last 10 years, and it will go up again significantly in the next 10 years. But I think we're going to have a dip before the bounces, and this is the time for us to buy the dip and then ride the wave up, because rents aren't going to get cheaper. And unless you're in bad states like California and New York and Chicago and wherever, where they're going to probably put a lot of like restrictions on landlords, rents are going to keep going up because it's the only way. How are you going to cover the costs if they don't go up? Cost of wood went up crazy. The cost of all materials went up crazy. So you got to just be, you got to be focused so you can find those deals. Bleach says, but we also restructured our national debts and secured long-term debt at low interest rates. Yes, we did. But the money goes somewhere. And when it goes into the system, that means the value of assets went up. Why do you think the stock market bounced back so fast? Why do you think the multiples that they're paying for stocks is so high? It's because they have all this cheap money out there and it has to go somewhere. Pascal, I just bought my first duplex this year. Rent was way too low. What's the most I could raise it and still be reasonable? Thanks. So what's good about this is by you studying your market, you know what the rent justifies. So for example, when I first bought the multi-unit in Dunedin, the rents were like $400, $500, $600. So $400 to $600. I raised them up to about $900 to $1,100. And now I'm doing a remodel and raising the one bedrooms up to $1,500. So in the last 12 years, rent went from $400 to $600 to $1,500 to $1,800 in this market. So we don't determine it. The market determines what the rent reasonableness is. So check your market, see what's acceptable. So guys, if you're going to be childish, I'm going to block you. And that's also going to make you lose the opportunity to win the PS5. So if you're blocked, you can't win the PS5. Do you process loans in New Jersey? Yes, we have connections in New Jersey as well. The best thing to be, the best first step as a real estate investor is studying your market. Because if you don't study your market, you're not going to know what a good deal is. So you need to study your market. Now, studying your market doesn't mean you have to spend, 5 hours every day. You could spend 15 minutes every day just looking at deals, and that's going to build in your mind what's a good deal. So study your market, because even if you don't have the money, if you know you found a good deal, you could flip it to another investor and get a cut for flipping the contract. What should be my first year next year when the market crashes? I would always only multi-units. I only buy multi-units. All right. I'm gonna ask a couple more questions and call it a night. What do you thank you for the answering my question. God bless. You're welcome, Hugo. Taylor says, can someone answer me, please? How do I enter the giveaway? You follow on YouTube, you follow on IG, you like the post, you save the post, and you tag your friends. The more friends you tag that end up following the page, the more entries you get in. Where will it be affected the most in 2021 correction? I think it'll be affected a lot in blue states that are restricted their people. So any state that's restricting their people from going out doing stuff is going to be affected. Also, lower income areas are going to be affected. So C class, D class, F class properties are going to be affected greatly. Paycheck to paycheck areas are going to be affected greatly. Rural areas are going to be affected greatly. Really high demand areas that have people living off of Social Security and or retirement funds and pensions, they're not going to get hurt as bad because they have a consistent income amount. Secondary and tertiary markets that are that type of people, retired or have consistent income coming in, aren't going to be affected as much. Areas that have a lot of medical personnel, nurses, doctors, dentists, pharmacists aren't going to be affected as much. So the more consistent the income, cash flow coming in for the population, that area won't be affected as much. I believe there is a market crash coming. I think we're going to have one starting the middle half of next year. I was thinking about buying a low-class market and refurbishing them. That is not a very good idea at this time. So during this time, you're going to see better returns on investment in the lower income area. The reason it's a better return on investment is because of the high risk that you're taking by doing it. Now, once the market goes down next year and a lot of the low income individuals can't get a job, they're not going to pay the rent. That's just reality of it. If they don't have a job, they can't pay rent. So you're going to be taking on a lot more volatility when that happens. How do I know this? Is because I did it. I had some in the nice area. I had some in the lower income area. I had a mix. And I'm just telling you from experience what happened. Thanks for all the love. I appreciate all the likes, thumbs up on YouTube and IG. I appreciate all the love, guys. I love answering you guys' questions and helping you out. Lowe's or Home Depot? Home Depot. I get a lot of help from Home Depot. They deliver my stuff usually within an hour. They don't charge me for it. I just text someone what I need, and they run my order up and they deliver it. I'm also one of the top 10 buyers at Home Depot, so I get a little bit of extra. I mean, the regional manager, I think district manager or something, called me and just asked me, hey, anything we could do to do better? I'm like, I like the service. Yeah, that's cool. When the market crashes in the US, how will house prices in other countries be affected? I think when the market crashes in the US, I think it's going to be a global effect, right? I think globally it's going to be affected. So right now, the dollar is weak against the euro, but I don't think it's going to last. I think the euro is going to start going down too. Because once we get affected and once we have our problems, the rest of the world is going to ripple into their problems, Bass, you rock, man. Thanks. What are your tips for students? My tip for you is that you're not going to learn everything you need to learn in school. So you need to read books outside of your class curriculum. And what you learn in school is mostly going to be definition in theory. It is not applicable in the real world. You need to learn how the real world works. So watch a lot of YouTube videos, do a lot of free work for like mentors, and you're going to learn how it works in the real world. because you'll leave college with an accounting degree and you cannot do books. You cannot actually do bookkeeping. You cannot file a tax return. So you spent 4 years to learn accounting and you can't do bookkeeping and you can't file a tax return. So what did you do for 4 years? So you get what I'm saying? You go to college, you spend 8 years to become a doctor, and you don't actually become a doctor until after 3 years of residency, which basically means 3 years you work for 100 hours a week so you can know what you're doing as a doctor. Think about that. You spent 8 years going to college, then you have another 3 years that you're working 60 to 100 hours a week so you can learn how to do the job that you went to school for 8 years for. So again, what you learn in college is just theories and ideas. You're not going to learn how to do anything until you actually do it in the real world. So if you think, I'm going to read all these stuff and I'm going to watch these courses and I'm going to read these books and I'm going to actually know how to do the job, you're not. Let me just tell you right now, I'll save you the time. You're not. You're not going to learn until you actually do it. Now, the books are going to give you ideas and rough ideas and stuff like that. What's really important is for you to do it. And what's going to help is find other people who read the same books, other people that read the same, watch the same courses, and you talk to each other, and that network is going to help you. Together, you're going to help figure things out and get through it, and all the issues that are going to come up. Is school useless? It depends. If you want to be a nurse, you have to go to school. You want to be an engineer, you have to go to school. Architect, doctor, whatever. You're gonna have to go to school. But if you want to be a real estate investor, you don't have to go to school. You want to be a developer, you don't really have to go to school. You could just go get your GC license and work your way up. All right. Lauren says, "Hey brother, how are you? I'm doing good." Well, guys, it was great seeing all of you. Reminder, today's the last day you can get the course, Foundations of Personal Finance, for $335. I just sold the duplex, the COVID duplex, for $335,000. So I'm giving out the course for $335. It's the lowest price it's going to be basically ever. So get it while you can. And next week, we're going to be giving away the PS5. Follow on YouTube, like the post on Instagram, follow on Instagram, save the post on Instagram, and tag friends. The more friends you tag that follow my page, the more more entries it is to win. So God bless you guys, and good night.